To be honest, I've been recording end. It's like the 15th recording I've recorded today. Okay. About 10 minutes later, Mark said something again. We're going to the park the one we went to when we first kissed. You know the one? Oh yeah, Jack said. That sounds nice. I'm just sick of how you've been getting treated. Sorry, I've been coming. It's so hot out. We've been getting treated. It's not right that we, mostly you, get bullied because of stupid reasons. I freaking hate them. They're horrible people, Mark said. You're a scum on earth, Jack said. But I've grown to nubbits. Sometimes it just gets to me and I can't help but break down. Yeah, Mark said. But you don't deserve. You don't either, Jack said. Just because of your sexuality, they have more reasons to bully me than you, especially since you were their friends for so long. I've never been friends with them, and my only friend is angry at me for no freaking reason. I deserve it. You don't deserve it. I deserve all of it. Every single name they call me, every time they physically hurt me, I deserve every little thing. Don't talk like that, Mark said sternly, keeping his eyes focused on the road ahead of me, not wanting to miss the turn of that would soon be up ahead. You don't. It's true, Jack said. I forgot where I left off, guys, to be very, very honest. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. It's true, Jack said. I do too. Mark didn't answer as he didn't want to argue with Jack. A few more minutes passed before they were finally at the park. Mark turned off the car, put his keys in his pocket, got out of the car, as did Jack. They both reached out for each other's hands at the same time. Jack let out a smile and a giggle at the gesture of both of them. They went to the open area of grass. They once went to sitting together. I'm so happy you gave me a chance, Mark said, lying down on the grass. Jack stayed sitting where he was. I'm glad I did too. But hey, what happened with Emmett? Jack sighed. Well, if you don't want to talk about it, that's alright. Mark said, No, I'll tell you, Jack said. So, before you and I started talking, everything he wanted to give you a chance because he knew about the big person on KIK. Then we started dating, and got all pissy with me because I didn't tell him at first, because I didn't tell anyone when I was giving you the cold shoulder. He got mad. I can't do anything right now. I can't do anything right. He's not talking to me at all, and I don't know. Come here, Mark said, sitting up and holding me in his arms. Jack wasn't crying, but he was clearly upset. Mark just held his arms for a bit. Shh. I'm not even crying, Jack said weakly, also with a chuckle. But you're upset, Mark stated. And I care about you, so I'm comforting you. I know, Jack said. I care about you too. Mark didn't reply. Instead, he leaned down and kissed Jack's forehead. Jack blushed at a simple gesture. He felt like a child, sitting in someone's arms, being kissed on the forehead, being calmed down. But he guessed it was different since Mark was his boyfriend and not a sibling or parent. After Jack was calm, he scooted slightly away from Mark, then laying on his lap as the sun set. Once the stars were visible and all light was away but the shine from the moon, Mark leaned down to Jack and kissed him. Jack soon sat up, leaning into the kiss some more, so that they were close together. Soon, Mark pulled away with a smile. I have something for you. What is it? Jack asked, an obvious blush on his cheek. Well, I left it in my car. I'll be right back. Sitting up, don't move. Oh, okay, Jack said, being slightly unnerved at the darkness and the trees. The car wasn't too close. It would take Mark a few minutes to get back. If we walked, it was a pretty big park, slightly forested by trees. Mark and Jack began facing a rather large lake. Jack was scared. The wind began. Mark, maybe it had been there as soon as he and Mark arrived, and he didn't notice until there was a shadow behind the trees. Those that slightly remember saluting the men, perhaps teenage boys. He worried about Cody, Drake, Tristan, and Jared. He didn't want to get hurt. It seemed like it was 15 minutes to Jack, but it only appeared that 5 minutes passed before Mark came back. Jack looked frightened at first when he began to approach, as only he saw a figure of a boy, and not Mark. Strong yet gentle features. His face changed to a relief, happy, and Mark was not some strange bully from the school. "Hi," Mark said when he was coming close enough to Jack. Jack stood over and ran, hug, and "I was scared. What took you so long?" He pulled away and hit Mark's chest in a somewhat playful manner. "It's been 5 minutes, or maybe 6 or 7, Mark chuckled. "It felt way longer to me," Jack said. "Well, I'm sorry I was gone so long," Mark said. "I love you. I love you too," Jack said. "While we're on topic, I'll give you a gift," Mark said with a smile creeping into his lips. Jack looked a bit excited to get it. Mark just grabbed the packaging. It was a box. He opened it with a revealing ring. Jack backed away slightly. "What?" "It's a promise ring," Mark chuckled. "We're high schoolers. I don't want to propose yet." Jack let out a relieved chuckle. "So this is to us?" Mark began. "And I hope we'll never separate, and even if we do, I hope we'll find each other again." And Mark looked down at the ring. "Even if we never find each other again, just never forget me. And I don't even know where I'm going with this, but I love you so much. I love you so much that words aren't even able to describe it. I love you too." Jack had tears. Jack had tears in my eyes. "Thank you so much." The ring was put on Jack's finger. "I got myself to match," Mark said, putting one on his finger as well. "I love you," Jack said. Though he just said it seconds before. "I love you too," Mark replied. Jack enveloped Mark in a warm embrace. Mark's arms around Jack's neck and McLaughlin's arms around Fishbach's waist. Then whispers again, "I love you." What is happening? I'll be right back, guys. Sorry, guys, had to get some stuff out of my way. 17. Whew. Around 2 a.m., Jack awoke in tears. He'd had a nightmare of losing Mark. Mark told him, "I don't love you anymore," then faded into darkness, leaving Jack completely isolated and alone. He tried calling out, specifically called out Mark, "I tried to get you out my mind to no avail." Then he woke up in tears, sweat beading on his forehead. He looked beside. Mark was there. He let out a breath that he didn't know he was holding back. Mark looked adorable when he slept. This was the first time Jack paid attention to that. The sometimes, what was a Starfire? The sometimes imitating boy looked at peace. He looked happy. Jack wondered what he was dreaming about. Perhaps he was dreaming about a prince or a king, but Jack thought that was silly. Maybe he'd dream about Jack himself, together and happy. Or he might have possibly been dreaming about something entirely different that Jack couldn't quite think of, like being a celebrity or becoming internet famous. Well, that's in the future. And being extremely popular. Jack wondered what would happen if that happened to Mark, or quite possibly himself as well. He didn't know he was a fortune teller. Yep. After a bit, Jack thinking about Mark's dreams, and just looked at him. A Korean American began to stir in his sleep. He groaned and opened his eyes. He sleepily smiled at Jack. "Hi," he spoke, his beautiful voice raspily. "Hi," Jack responded with a slight smile. Mark's face had a smile on it as well. "What time is it?" Mark asked. Jack responded quite quickly, as he just looked at the time a couple minutes before. Mark awoke. 2:50 in the morning. Holy, Mark said, sitting up and holding Jack's face to his hands. Are you alright? How long have you been awake? Do you have a nightmare? Are you okay? I'm alright, Jack said. Been awake for almost an hour now. I had a nightmare about losing you and you didn't love me anymore. I would never say that, Mark said, taking his hands off Jack's face, but still being close to him, looking into her eyes. I love you so much. I love you so much too, Jack responded. But I'm scared. Of what? I don't want you to leave me, Jack said. It would hurt so much. I know, Mark said. It would hurt me a lot. It hurt me a lot too. If you left me or I left you. Either way, it'll hurt. But but for right now, you need to realize that I'm not planning to leave you. Ever. That's what everyone says, that when they're in a relationship, they always say they'll never leave each other, and they do. I promise, Sean, Mark said, using the boy's real name. I promise that I won't leave you. At least not anytime soon. I love you too much for that. You, Jack said, you used my real name. I did, Mark said. Jack fell into Mark's arms and began to cry. He felt like he cried almost too much. He hated about himself. Every little thing that he did was about the slightest bit difficult or emotional. He cried and he hated it so much. I love you, Sean, Mark said. Or Jack, or whatever you want, but it doesn't matter. Nothing matters except that I love you. I love you so much. Jack sniffled. I love you too, Mark. Jack fell back asleep in Mark's arms. Shortly following, Mark took a bit longer to fall asleep, but soon enough, he went to sleep. Holy, Jack said. Wait, what? Mark yelled, tiredly. Worried, he frantically stood up and defended himself and Jack against it. It's freaking 7:45. We're gonna be late, Jack said. Mark laughed. Seriously? That's it? Yeah, Jack said. You know, we could skip school all the time. It doesn't really matter if we are a bit late, Mark reminded, not panicking anymore. Well, Jack was going to protest, then he realized he was right. I suppose that's true. But we still need to go to school, Mark said, walking over to Jack, pecking his forehead. I know, Jack said. Thank you for, comforting you. You're welcome, Jack. Mark said with a sweet smile. I really love you. I like you a lot, Jack said, looking down at his fidget hands with a nervous smile. I do too, Jack, Mark replied. A lot. I know, Jack, replied. Well, we should probably get going there in a few minutes. Yeah, Mark sighed. All right. God, my hands are so sweaty. Okay, now I have a red mark on it. Oh God, that's worrying me. Wait, I forgot how many did she do? She did 22. Oh, okay, it was ready. Mark and Jack arrived to their first class right before the bell went off. The majority of people in the room gave their strange or rude looks. You boys were almost late, the teacher said, pointing to the obvious fact. But we weren't, Mark said. And it doesn't matter, we almost were. But because what is this, Zatchku? Later that day, they were insulted by Jared, and his friends still weren't leaving them alone, and their act was getting old. Jared said as passed them in the hallway with a slightly stifled chuckle, shoving Jack. Go do the word a favor and kill yourselves. Are you getting sick of this, Jared? Mark asked suddenly, making Jared stop, turn around to face them. Excuse me? Jared asked, pretending if he didn't hear it. What was that? Aren't you getting the slightest bit annoyed? Okay, guys, gotta go. Bye.